Bitch, I live in a fucking trash can.
Alrighty, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2. Hello, hello, hello. What up? Is this on? I feel like I barely know how to operate this thing anymore. Boom. What up, chat? L Angry Bird 08 with the ginormous 50. Was good, man. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is doing well. If you were partaking in a Thanksgiving holiday, hope you had a good one. I'm just getting back in the swing of things on my end here. It's been busy. Been busy. I feel like I haven't been able to stream hardly at all the past month and a half since Viper released. Essentially just haven't been able to do much. Life has been busy. Oh, I'm on the wrong one here. There we go. That's where the music went. Yo, bro, YouTube had a rewind for people. You made it into my top 3 artists I watched this year. Artist. That's a very lofty term for what I do, but thank you. Love the content and your videos, man. Keep up the good work. Hey, I appreciate that. I feel like it's rare to hear a kind word related to my output. Ever since Sajam put out a hit piece on me, that shit was crazy. Lamb FGC, thanks for the 47 months. Appreciate that. I gotta talk to Sajam, man. That video he put out was insane. Street Fighter League tomorrow? Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited about Street Fighter League coming up. I'm actually excited about it. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about there just being this one break, because, you know, overall, I still feel like the Japanese model is the idealistic version of it, where, you know, you have an actual evolving league over the course of a season with matches happening every week. But what they've done with this year with USA Street Fighter League, obviously just doing it live is great, but also having the break is very nice. I feel like Street Fighter League EU is too much of a sprint. It happens all too much all at once. Having this break is very interesting because it lets you really think about the narratives, the storylines, and then you wonder how the players are going to adapt. I mean, a lot of the players were literally hopping on planes and flying back to Japan to train more for the next round of Street Fighter League. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. So I like how it's all playing out. Andy Walker looked exhausted by the end of Street Fighter League EU. Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of it, but I got to catch the finale. And just, Ending Walker was just straight up carrying mouse. Shout out to Street Fighter League EU, by the way. They really flipped the script on that one. I know looking at that, people were like, damn, it's just going to be Ninjas in Pajamas just sweeping this shit again. And they were in 3rd place or something by the time the playoffs came around. They had to go all the way the distance through it. Shout out to Mouse and who was the Frenchie? Was it Aegis? They put in a lot of work. It was not free for Ninjas in Pajamas, like it has been in the past. So, but of course, the script must be corrected. They still won the whole thing. But Andy Walker being completely undefeated until the end from Angry Bird was actually nuts. Yeah, the pacing for Street Fighter League EU is horrendous. But I think they also do more matches a day, is the thing. Like, because it's a marathon, the way they're doing it, they absolutely have to, like, take breaks and get through a lot more matches. So I think the format and the pacing for EU is bad. It's a bad viewing experience. And they do too much esports fluff. There's too much walking out. The pacing of Street Fighter League USA is way better. Just way, way, way better. And also having this mid-season break is way better. So I think Street Fighter League USA has definitely found the better middle ground between doing weekly, like a full season like in Japan, and doing it live and a sprint like EU. 30-minute pain with the 16. Appreciate that. Des Vodor, thanks for the big 14. Sajam said somebody should call the Wambulance for this crybaby. I cannot believe Sajam and Moss dug up a month-old clip from a throwaway comment I had on a CPT watch-along to just to sacrifice me to the legions of Capcom fanboys at the stake. I cannot believe it. They tagged me in that. I got a notification to open this up, and I was like, what the fuck? Why did you tag me in this? I was like, what was the point of this? The structure of this video was insane. The structure of that Sajam video is actually blew my fucking mind. Because, yeah, I don't speak as eloquently as Sajam or with as much, I don't know. I obviously like to be a negative Nancy. That's part of my humor, okay? That's kind of my vibe. That's what I like to do. And I do it on my stream for the people who want to watch that sort of thing. Sajam plucks that out, puts that front and center for the Goober squad that he has running over there. I got clip farmed. I cannot believe it. Listen, Sajam's YouTube is meant for Weenie Hut Jr. style FGC content. This is what it's meant for. It's meant to be very palatable, and I always love fun games, and games are always good. It's just how it is. You can't take one of my clips out of context, shove it in front of your video, and then spend the next 16 minutes repeating everything I said, but slower and with more context. That blew my fucking mind. I cannot believe that. I cannot believe the structure of that video was insane. And then I saw comments like, Brian F. just trying to negative content, trying to do negative reactionary content. That was not content. I did not make a video about that. The only one making reactionary negative discourse content was Sajam. He took that and made that discourse. That was not discourse. That was insane. I cannot believe that. I don't think that was Sajam's intention, but I was like, dude, what the fuck? That was straight instigating. I could not believe it. I could not believe how much the structure of that video was instigating. I got a bone to pick with Sajam over that one. I got a bone to pick. Bombrillo, thanks for the full year. And Nate F153 with the 34. Thank you. Rain C with the 15. RICK, what's up, guys? Crunch Slam Chest with the 34 months. What up, Hamad? Listen, you saying I'm one of your favorite streamers right now might not be good optics for me. I'm not going to lie, man. It's all of us Salt Lords in one place. Come on now. It's not good optics. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. I saw you were cooking a little bit. Also, whatever I was saying on that Sajam clip about not feeling good about current events and fighting games, like I said, Sajam literally reiterated everything over 16 full minutes. I just think it's insane to say, for people in the comments who are saying, like, I'm purposely being negative and don't have any reason to be upset, when that reaction clip that he plucked out of an month-old CPT reaction video was me watching the final CPT event of the season after Capcom doubled down and reassured that they would be charging pay-per-view for Capcom Cup, deflating any sense of stakes and tension for the CPT, rendering the event almost meaningless because people are not going to see the conclusion and are not going to be able to partake in the finale and the culmination of the season. No shit, it's gonna be a little whack. It's gonna be a little whack. It's crazy. People think I care about the balance that much. No, just the entire structure around the CPT. And then, you know, a lot of fighting games are, you know, there's some issues right now. It's crazy. Am I not allowed to be like, dang, kind of sucks. Kind of sucks that Capcom's dropping the ball here and taking a dump on the full year culmination of the tour. They summed up as fighting my for 8 months, which is insane. A lot of the comments are saying, "Oh, fuck Brian because he only plays Street Fighter," which is crazy because at that point I had been playing 2XKO for a month straight. It's actually, which is wild to me. And I think there's always a big disconnect between the perspective of people who game hop constantly and from those who actually like to delve deeper into a game, which is fine. But I think that the perspective always gets missed. It's really easy to always have fun if you're constantly chasing novelty of a new game or just playing a different game. That's very easy. But when you decide to stick with one game because you like the pursuit of skill development and seeing, you know, how far up the mountain you can climb, it's a very different experience. It's a very different type of enjoyment. It's not going to be ha ha he he the whole time. And for some people, I think they don't engage with that side of the medium. Like, I've done content on DNF Duel, DBFZ, MVC3. What else? 2XKO, Tekken 7, Tekken 8. I played all these games. Melty Blood, I doubt. That was like a real one-off thing. Yeah, Strive I played for a long time. Like, I always find it strange people like, oh, I've never played any of their fighting games. Like, I obviously play other fighting games, but the one I want to spend time to actually get good with is Street Fighter. That's the one. I don't have infinite time, and I like Street Fighter the most. And after playing 2XKO, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed, man. Kind of disappointed. 2XKO should have 10 more characters. And it's a little nuts to me that the fighting game attached to the IP related to League of Legends has no traction with the audience that knows the IP League of Legends. So I don't know. I saw a lot of discussion like saying that I'm grumpy because I only play Street Fighter all day for my job, which it's not even my job. It's a very passionate hobby I have that I do after work. And yeah, I'm a little disappointed with the direction a lot of the devs are taking in terms of handling their IPs, not necessarily the games themselves. I think the game is fine. 2XKO can have a redemption arc. I don't really want to play 2XKO until they add a bunch of more characters, is how I feel at this point. I had my fill of Yasuo and Echo. Until they add at least 10 more characters, I kind of don't feel like playing too much. And even then, we'll see if I go back to it too often, because I just think active tag is just fundamentally less fun for me than a normal tag fighter. And I suspect that with active tag, no matter what, the game will always be a little bit like Echo and Yasuo during early access in the beginning. It will always feel like that to a degree. Because that's what active tag does. I just think in general, active tag is too powerful a mechanic. And if you don't vibe with it, you don't vibe with it. And generally, I don't vibe with it. So we'll have to see. What is active tag? It's called handshake tag in 2XKO. It's basically the idea that you call your assist, and then at any point you can actually tag and take control of your assist. I will be playing Marvel Tokon. I'm obviously concerned about the active tag mechanic, but it's a lot more restricted in Tokon. And I'm wondering if they're going to patch out the hard to blockables. I'm very interested in Tokon just because I love Marvel fighting games, and I think it looks ridiculous. It looks so good. And so it's also going to depend on like I'm going to play the beta, for example. I'm very excited to play the beta coming up. I hope I get to be able to have a bit more time to actually play in training mode and figure out how to remember to press ABC. I'm so ass at active tag games. Playing that beta without having access to training mode, it's brutal. Any tips for the beta? I got in. I don't know, man. I'm not exactly sure what modes are available. I think they have some kind of CPU battle. I don't know the details. I'm just waiting for the date for it to start. My problem with Tokon is that the combos between characters feels too samey. Yeah, it has a little bit of that early DBFZ vibe. And I think that's also the issue with not having training mode, is that everyone's doing basic ABC, assist, ABC, combo enders, right? You have to have access to training mode to start optimizing and get to unique combo conversions. It's kind of like when Street Fighter 6 released the demo and you played Luke and Ryu, and everyone was just doing the same like drive rush cancel, medium drive rush cancel. You need time to actually digest and understand the combo systems. So that's why also, as a not savant fighting game player, having short limited access windows without training mode does feel kind of hollow. Rogue Jerrycon with the 31 months. Appreciate that. Did I say thanks to Keith M with the 19 also? Appreciate that. Bombrillo. Full 12. Tokon and the weird ass play windows was horrible, but they got rid of that. Oh shit!
So you can play your second ever fighting game
with $10. What am I gonna buy with that? Thank you, Tamim3319. $10. What for my second ever fighting game should I be buying with that one? Melty? I thought that one was free 99. Nen Impact? Is Nen Impact actually $10 now? Try Street Fighter 4? Never heard of it. Skullgirls and a double cheeseburger? I think I must have bought Skullgirls like 5 times. I think I meant to buy the Ultimate Edition back in 2014 or something like that. And I accidentally bought 4 copies or 5 copies of the regular edition. Alex is so far away. Is he? I'm not really counting down the days for Alex. Alex is my least anticipated character from this DLC roster. Least? Yeah. Yeah, I'm far more interested in what they're going to do with Ingrid. Now, the gameplay might be boring as fuck, and then I don't care anymore. But I like that. To me, Ingrid is like a blank slate. And so I'm hoping they do something interesting. Like, that's my whole perspective with Ingrid is like, this is, to me, I know she was in some random PSP, whatever. Who gives a fuck? She has some sort of magical powers. I'm hoping they go and do some crazy zoning. We need more wizards in the game. That's what I want. Yeah, I'm hoping for a zoner. I'm hoping for an interesting zoner.
Well, if you can't beat them, join them.
Volkner DNZ, select and click with the Prime, thank you. And Bub98 with the tier 1. I would like a Rose type function. I think Rose in Street Fighter V was super cool. Please keep poison far away. Yeah, we can do without poison. Poison kind of spoiled Street Fighter V a little bit. But I think a Rose type function would be cool. Laying down the orbs, having them explode, disjointed. I think Rose is really cool in Street Fighter V. She was kind of whack in 4. How did Poison ruin 5? Well, I mean, she didn't ruin... She wasn't that popular. She was just busted, that's all. If you're asking how she was busted, her EX heart rate was maybe top 1 most broken move in the game. Bring back Makoto or Minot. I don't think Ingrid's going to be a function for either of those characters. Any desire to have Balrog back? No. Not particularly. Do I think Aura has a place in 6? I don't know how they would do Tengu Stones. Like, that's such a part of his identity. It would have to be a level 2 install. I don't know, he could. Aura would be cool, but he would look so weird in Street Fighter 6 graphics. I do feel like he fit with the Street Fighter 5 art style. Street Fighter 6 is getting a little more realistic. They got Blanca in there, though. They could find a way. Do you prefer lights, mediums being plus on block like Street Fighter 4 or 5, or do you prefer Street Fighter 6 where mostly all buttons are negative? I think I understand buttons, lights, and mediums being plus on block like Street Fighter 4 and 5. I understand that more. At least the flow of the game, I comprehend it more than Street Fighter 6 is what I will say. I think I'm extremely weak, and one of my biggest weaknesses in this game is all of the micro mind games with the light stagger pressure, where you alternate between chaining your jabs, delaying your chains, sneaking in walk up to take up space and reset your turn, or go for a throw, or go for another jab sequence. I'm very weak at that, so I wouldn't say I prefer it. I would just say I don't understand it as much in play. I wouldn't really argue one's better or not. It's just in Street Fighter V, it was a lot more streamlined, where you would just do it was very easy to set up spacing traps where you would just you get in, you do the string. If they bit on it and they press the button, that you got the frame trap and you got the counter hit confirm. And if they didn't bite on it, the string would naturally push each other out, and it would set up a spacing trap where, based on your sequence of inputs and sequence of moves, you would have the advantage of knowledge to understand the spacing you're at and the frame advantage, so you could potentially space trap them by predicting their common option to try to take their turn back and then whiff punishing that option. So Street Fighter V had a lot more easier to develop canned sequences when you touch the opponent's block. So I think it was just easier. It was more streamlined in that sense in Street Fighter V, for sure. But in Street Fighter 6, like, if you try to do the same thing, like if you go for a stagger light chain, which is the best you could do to frame trap someone when you start with lights, once that stagger light chain ends, you are left negative and in range for their medium punch or usually crouching medium kick buffer into driver's cancel. And you might have some options to check that. You might have like a 5-frame stand light kick or something to interrupt that. But it's not guaranteed, because if you press that and they don't press the crouching medium kick, you're just going to whiff. And if they delay their button, they'll whiff punish you, right? So I do think Street Fighter 6 makes it a lot more dynamic in the up-close pressure game, but it also makes it, I think, more swingy between both players. Yeah, I think Street Fighter V was objectively more flowcharty in that sense. It was easier to control, I think. But that's why when I watch a player like Riddles, I think Riddles is really, really inspiring when I watch his light pressure game and the way he sneaks in his stagger strings and goes for throws. It's really, really inspiring. He's very good at micro walking between his lights and just setting up these perfect little spacings where he can get a light on block and then just wiggle his way in for a throw, you know? Like, his little micro walks are really precise, and his strings that he uses are really precise on his light pressure. I'm very impressed whenever I watch him play. There's a fluidity to it in his up-close pressure game that is very rare to see. Very rare. So, and because I personally think I'm really bad at that, like when I watch him play, I'm like, wow, like that's so good. Like, he's so good at that. Normals being negatives to balance for drive damage on block, surely? No, I think the normals being negatives just to make it more clear it's more readable. If you go green, normal is plus. I think that's very readable. I think that's such a straightforward thing. But at the same time, they do randomly throw in like a Sagat stand medium punch or a Jury stand medium punch. It's not always that streamlined in terms of readability. Big Mike, thanks for the 15. Yeah, Sagat stand medium punch is really good. Street Fighter V, for example, had gray damage, so you couldn't block forever in that game either. I do think drive gauge is much more immediately threatening to convince you to not block. So you might be right there, but there were considerations in Street Fighter V. But it was easier to block out and challenge people for overextending. Gray damage on normals? Yeah. Am I forgetting? Am I going senile? You block moves, the gray damage racks up. I never played 5, just wondering. No, please question me because I don't remember what the fuck I had for breakfast. It was only heavies? I thought mediums as well. Do you still have that Worm Lord Yu-Gi-Oh card? It's somewhere back there. It's up there somewhere. I do have it, yes. I got all the useless crap you guys made me buy. Don't worry. Haven't lost any of it. Do I stream full-time or is it a hobby? It's a very monetized hobby. If I streamed full-time, I would be streaming a lot more. Even the Fortnite burger? Yeah. As much as I love that Fortnite burger, I did not buy it of my own volition. I need a desire to go full-time and get roasted by Sajam's YouTube comments 24/7? I'm good, man. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So it's been about a month and a half since Sea Viper has officially joined the Street Fighter 6 cast, and I'm a little late. I know I've been a little busy though. Been traveling around. It's the holidays and all that, but I have finally earned the license to have an opinion. All right, okay. So I've been playing Sea Viper a little bit more off stream. I cracked 1900 MR for the first time, and before I lose it all and have my MR plummet back to its appropriate range with this character, I figured now I have earned my license to have an opinion, and I wanted to do a bit of a deep dive on Sea Viper and her pros, her cons, and also my personal experience with the character, my personal takes on the character, and how competitively viable do I think Sea Viper is. And there's also one key weakness I want to go into detail on. So we're going to get a little bit into the weeds here, get a little technical, but let's break down how Sea Viper is about a month after release in this game. And I got my notes here. Let me pull up my notes. Also, let me do this. There we go. So let's go over the pros with Sea Viper first. And Sea Viper is really all about the burn kick. This move is definitely extremely powerful. I think this is the go-to move for the character. And you're basically trying to find creative ways to use burn kick to get your offensive momentum going and to apply pressure to the opponent. I think burn kick is super strong. Starting off first with air burn kick. Generally, air burn kick is at worst -4. There's some extreme situations where it could be like -5 or -6 there. But generally, you're looking at like -4 or better with air burn kick. And that, of course, includes the super jump burn kick. But as you can see there, sometimes if you do super jump burn kick at the right spacing, you can even get plus frames. And this can be really useful for just getting in. I mean, you can just do things like Seismo, super jump cancel, air burn kick, and get plus frames. You got to space it appropriately and use like medium or heavy depending on the different spacings. But you can hit late and get plus frames out of nowhere. So that's really strong. Also, of course, you can just like out of your strings, just like do buttons and super jump cancel over them, get cross ups. Like you can just completely mix your opponent and just get in and mix them up immediately. You would think with pairing the game it wouldn't be that strong, but the left-right mix is definitely still there. It's such a jump scare that people tend to not parry correctly anyways in the first place. So just getting in on an Oki and just doing a string into super jump cancel burn kick is really good. And even if they block it, it's going to be safe, right? Like that's going to be -2 at worst. So imagine once again to burnout, like that's going to be super, super nasty. So I think that's incredibly, incredibly strong. Another like really interesting thing about burn kick that I think is underutilized is just in scramble situations or for like securing some kind of movement out of the corner. If you do things like this, if you jump over someone, it's a little weird. You got to do burn kick in the other direction, but you can jump over people and then burn kick, and see that was -2. And this is really good just for those common scenarios where if you jump out of the corner, most people when you land try to trip guard you with a button or go for a grab, and you can just jump over people and just do burn kick in the other direction and just punish them immediately for going for that and side swap. It's also good for situations where say like they randomly drive rush at you and you just happen to like be jumping there. You can try to like trip guard or counter their trip guard attempt when you're on the other side with the burn kick. So this offers a really unique coverage that usually when this happens, you're kind of just screwed. Like when these weird spaghetti situations occur. But Sea Viper has an out that other characters don't have with that option, just halting her momentum in the air and just doing burn kick out the other side. So usually in situations like that where they happen to get underneath you, you're kind of just screwed. Burn kick is really good at dealing with that. And then of course we have grounded burn kick, which has this is like the special that everyone spams. This is the go-to, using the meter extension with the kicks here to get in for plus frames. I think this is actually good. At first I was wondering if this would be bad because of course they can just counter this on reaction, or not reaction rather, prediction with drive impact, right? If I go for this and I cancel into it, they're gonna get the drive impact and they're gonna get a full combo. However, I think it's really hard to actually react to this with drive impact. I don't think it's free, and you can just not go for it and then kill people if they attempt to do this. And people do get mixed up. Like you overwhelm their mental stack enough, they're gonna mess up. And you can mix it in here and there. But also the other thing about this is if they delay this by even 1 frame, you can counter DI. So you can't really rely on reaction DI. No, you think you're reacting to this with DI, you're not. The other thing is, like, if you're a frame late, man, I don't think you're reacting to this. And if you are, they're being extremely predictable with how they use that extension. I think it's more of a prediction. Now, I do think parry might be more reliable to react with. Now, that is true. You could argue maybe eventually people will get really good at perfect parrying this. However, the thing about this is the cancel into the metered extension for plus frames, you can actually delay the cancel. So you can see here, it's actually 20 frames there. If I cancel right away on the blue on the frame meter, like when the cancel occurs into the follow-up. But I can also delay it to 22 frames. There's a 3-frame window where you can delay this cancel to modify the timing of the extension so that if they're trying to perfect parry the same timing every time, there's wiggle room for you to alter that timing to avoid getting perfect parried and still getting the plus frames. Because if they parry it regularly and you get the plus frames, you're okay. Like you're just going to get the plus frames. So I don't think this is a gimmick. I think doing like regular burn kick and then not doing anything, if they flash parry, you throw them, or the DI and you kill them, then mixing this in, I think this is going to be good even against high level players. I think it's going to be good. Sure, they can still react to this. I'm just saying it modifies the timing from the mental standpoint. I think that delay actually does help. I disagree that people are not robots. Some players will get really good at perfect parrying this, and I think that will improve with time, but I think this is still strong. I don't think this is useless. At first, I thought this might have been a useless gimmick. I don't think that's the case. Some players might hyper-optimize around dealing with it, but I think that will be good. I think it's pretty strong. So, with that in mind, like you're going to get in and get plus frames. It's +2 there. You can keep the pressure going. So I think burn kick is just super strong. Of course, there's OD air burn kick. This is just +2. You just get in. Like, you can just jump at people and do this. And of course, I didn't mention, like, of course, the obvious example of burn kick. You just bait people for doing their anti-airs. And you just kill them for it. I mean, it's kind of hard to record this in training mode. But you get the idea, right? Let's see if I can get it. Let me try to get a good recording for the YouTube video. Too much recovery on this one. Okay, there we go. Hold on. How do I do this? Right. So mixing up your burn kicks can definitely just throw off a human opponent. Like, you can just throw out burn kick and just do this and try to bait people's anti-airs. So just modifying your timing and spacing with this, mixing in super jumps. Like, her mobility with burn kick is just objectively good. Like, this really mixes people up. And eventually, like, you're just cranking the mental stack to allow you to just get that jump in and burn kick. It's good. It's very good in this game. So I think burn kick will continue to be good. I think there's too many ways to vary it, and it's an extremely powerful part of her toolkit. And I think it's the most spammable part of what she has, for sure. I think burn kick is really good. Okay, next thing that she has that I think is very good is her Seismo. Seismo is a low projectile, and you have 3 different variations, and it goes really far. And because it's a low projectile like that, and it doesn't have an actual hitbox, it has unique advantages. So it's able to avoid interacting with other projectiles and just go underneath them. So you can secure these like last hit interactions like that and just snipe people. However, you can also argue this is a little bit of a downside, because you can see here, like, you can't clash with the projectiles. So if a fast projectile comes by, you're probably gonna get cooked for it. With slower projectiles, you can like interact with them and like, get over. You get combos still. So it has its pros and cons. It's a common trait with these projectiles that just appear, these sort of pillar projectiles, or even just low projectiles in general. Their pro is they don't clash with the other normal fireballs, but the con is they don't clash with the normal fireballs. There's pros and cons to that. But this obviously becomes next level with the actual feint mechanic. Just another way to crank the mental stack in terms of what people are looking for. So you can zone a decent amount with just doing the actual Seismo. People might want to eventually jump, and that's when you do something like just the Seismo feints, and then you get your anti-air and you punish them for it. That this actually does happen. Like, people do try to jump this on reaction, because this is pretty slow overall. It's a 57 frame move. You got to be careful with it. The feint isn't amazingly fast. Like, you can't just like go super ham with this and expect this to work out. So you have to be a little discerning with when you utilize the feint. But I think it's still very strong to bait people in the zoning patterns. And the other thing it's really useful for is for baiting people to press parry. Because eventually, if you're blocking these Seismos, you do want to avoid getting shipped out. Like, this will actually do a decent amount of drive gauge ship. You can threaten burning people out from full screen. So people do try to see Seismo, and they try to parry it. But, of course, you can just feint the Seismo and punish the parry attempt. Now, good players will eventually do things like they'll dry rush OS out of it. So, like, it's not foolproof, this interaction. It's kind of hard to synchronize this. Let me get a good example of this. Yeah. So they'll counter your counter eventually with the parry into dry rush OS. So it's not foolproof, but it keeps the mind game going and definitely catches people off guard. And even if you don't interact with it, like if you just do this and then you that's one of our weaknesses, spoilers. You can try to just check them. You can try. It's potentially possible. But anyways, you can play the mind game on the parry OS there. So I think Seismo is really good. Okay, next unique strength with Sea Viper is that she has 4 hit light confirms, which is pretty rare in this game. I actually can't think of the top of my head other characters that have this. But if you do your light chain mostly with the actual jabs, they have reduced pushback and allow you to convert from your lights from further out, which just gives you more time to actually convert and get more damage in there as well. So I think this is a pretty interesting, unique strength that she has. It's pretty rare in Street Fighter 5 to have, or sorry, Street Fighter 6 to have this. So I think this is actually pretty good. And you can also, of course, I think the better variation of this is getting into stand light kick. Being able to combo into her 5-frame stand light kick is really good, and it's kind of a chain interaction. So in a scramble, converting to this lets you go into the medium thunder dash, and you can spend the meter to get a really solid knockdown here. So I think this is a really great route that she has to just like solidify her conversions on, you know, jab checks and everything. So that's pretty powerful that she has that. It's not that common. Another common but powerful thing she has is just the 5-frame stand light kick itself. She has like the Shoto style 5LK. So this is always really powerful because after 3 lights with most characters, they're not going to be able to continue their turn here with any of their 4-frame lights on block, right? So after blocking chain lights, you're negative on block. So a common scenario here is after blocking 3 lights, people like to press their crouching medium kick and then drivers cancel in, like ending your turn, taking their turn back and getting their offense started. And that's a pretty common scenario here. But if you have a 5-frame stand light kick with a good low hitbox in that range, you can guess with this and buffer to interrupt people trying to take their turn back. So this is always like a super strong thing to have. You know, Ken's used this, Terry, Ryu as well a little bit. So having the 5-frame Akuma also, of course. The Shoto 5LK is definitely a blessed button to have for specifically like these kind of interactions. You know, and it can turn into a decent amount of damage as well if you're willing to spend resources on it. So doing this, I think, is super powerful as well, just to help glue together a bit of her pressure strings. Okay. The other powerful thing about Sea Viper is just with her special move extensions, she has really easy access for decent options with her Oki. So Thunder Dash having this metered extension from both the heavy DP version and the meter version like this, and even the light version, which is not as common, but it can be used. They offer really good knockdowns just for getting Dry Rush Oki going. So like a common scenario would be from the medium Thunder Dash, you can just Drive Rush here and do towards heavy kick as a meaty option, or just Drive Rush in for a grab, whatever, right? Pretty good Oki option. But you also have the option to just do standing pressure as well, because this is actually +1. Now, +1 will lose to reversal jabs if you go for throw, but, you know, if they go for that jab there, you can just frame trap them and keep it airtight. It's not foolproof, but to go for throw, but it works pretty well. So you can always just go for jab there, keep the pressure going, and eventually when you condition them, you can just mix in a stand throw here as well. So I just think having the option with Sea Viper for a lot of common scenarios with light hits to go for Oki knockdown with either of these conversions, or to just leave them standing, especially with the medium Thunder Dash, is always powerful. And you can clip people trying to walk away through crouching light kick, for example. So I think that's just a really good way to keep the pressure up with this character, to be able to cycle through standing reset pressure to force an immediate strike throw, or if we're going for the Oki knockdown. And I think that she helps cycle through those options really well with her Thunder Dash extensions. And same thing for the burn kick as well, for combos where she goes like into this knockdown, for example. Okay, I need to bring my boy Terry out for this example here. I got notes for this one. Definitely no script, but I got notes. Too much to talk about here. Okay, so one of the big strengths about Viper is for sure her damage output is really high. Like, really, really high. So I want to use a drive reversal punish to demonstrate that here. Where's drive reversal? Okay, so not only is Viper's damage output really high, but she also is blessed with a 6-frame crouching medium punch, which is the magic number for punishing a lot of specific moves in this game, and of course, mechanics like drive reversal. So I'm going to show you a combo with Terry because Terry is, I think, known for having a ton of damage. He's a really hard-hitting character, and so on a drive reversal punish, let me do a basic drive reversal punish with 2 bars. 390. Now, you probably wouldn't do a combo like this with Terry. You probably just spend 1 bar in drive rush, but just to have something equivalent for the meter usage, 390 on a basic 2-bar drive reversal punish with Terry. Now, if I'm playing Viper here, though, that wasn't fair. Here, let's see. $3,500 on a basic B&B without using any drive rush cancel moves and immediately being able to regen your drive gauge. I use less meter than Terry with an OD and his combo route, and I'm building more meter back immediately. And I think that's not even the optimal one for this situation. I actually want to do... This is the optimal one here. There we go. 3,550 damage on that one. So he gets more, or she gets more damage than Terry on a drive reversal punish, which is really rare. In most situations, they get comparative damage to Terry. So I think that's like a really, really good sign for her damage output. Starting from a punish counter crouching medium punch with the meter resources she's using, she's very meter efficient as well. And of course, you know, you can just spend a lot more meter on this. Like, she can just start shitting out damage as soon as you start adding more meter to it. You have to be careful about your meter economy, but she does a ton of damage. So also, if you want to see like her max damage conversion, like we can compare that once again to Terry. I'm going to put drive gauge on infinite just to make this like work really quick. Let's put it on fix. Okay. What would the combo be? It would be more like this. Oh, sorry, forgetting. How do you do a CA? Punches. Okay, I forgot. Okay, so if you land like a full punish counter combo in the corner with Terry, that wasn't it. What is this combo? Hold on, let me I gotta remember. Oh, I'm not CA, that's why. Let's get the juicy numbers. What's up, EXE Van Jones? Thanks for the 10 months. That's not it either. What is the combo? Should it be level 2 there? I think in a perfect world you have the meter for level 2, but I thought the CA did more damage. Am I doing the wrong combo? It's been a while. Is that it? I know does level 2 do more damage than CA though? I think CA still does more damage. You have to use level 2. Alright, so I gotta put this on max. Because you normally get to absorb the hits to have enough damage, or to have enough meter to do the level 2. Okay, so max damage output with Terry if you absorb the hit to actually get the meter to have enough drive gauge to pull this off, is 6,993. And that's like huge damage. That is massive damage. So Terry definitely, I think, is one of the hardest hitting characters in the game. And he's pulling off in the most optimal situation 6,993. And Sea Viper, on the other hand, $6,990. So she's getting 3 less damage, but I think you can excuse her, right? Like she's liquidating life bars with this combo routing. Here, let me do it one more time for the video. I gotta what am I doing? I gotta show the life bars getting liquidated. And I guess for her, I don't need it. I don't need it to be infinite. So 6,990 with Sea Viper for her max damage output. So she does more damage than Terry on a drive reversal punish with limited resource spent, and does similar damage to Terry on a max damage cash out. So her damage output is massive. Like her average damage output as well. If she starts landing her Fierce Feint Fierce combos, it like just really racks up really quick. So I think her average damage output is really high. So I think it's an understated strength of the character that she hits extremely hard when she manages to land a solid hit. Okay, let me set this up here. Okay, the next main strength of Viper is definitely her feints on her heavies. I think her heavy feint is so strong for both her crouch heavy and for her stand heavy. So crouch heavy into the feint cancel, it leaves you at -1, and the stand heavy, you have to do a jump feint cancel, which ends up costing a bar and leaves you at 0 on block. But the main thing here to understand is, or there's two main takeaways. One is, look at the drive gauge. The drive gauge gets absolutely chunked away every single time one of these heavies is blocked, right? So in an unrealistic scenario, you can see here that the crouch heavy takes away half a bar of drive gauge every single time this is making contact with the opponent's block. And the stand heavy punch, I think this does like 60%. There's a little bit more drive gauge. You do lose a bar drive gauge yourself, but it takes a clean 60% away immediately every single time as you make them block any of your normals. And the thing is, it's really easy to make them block this. Like, the stand heavy has massive range. Like, this is such a strong move to just throw out. And then if you have a lot of drive gauge and just want to keep the pressure going, really, really powerful. Crouch heavy has great range as well. But the main thing is, it has really good pushback. Like, this move is extremely ambiguous, and doing the feints is pretty interesting because it doesn't just cancel the block stun and make you safer, right? Crouch heavy on block is normally -5. This gives you better frame advantage, makes you -1. Take a look at the spacing after. The spacing after a feint, it has slightly more pushback in a lot of situations. So you can see here, after blocking crouch heavy, her toe is right on that second line from the bold line on the training mode floor there. But if I feint cancel, there's a bit of a gap. It actually increases the pushback whenever you do a feint cancel. So you see here, yes, I am blocking that crouching light punch here, but if I take like a micro step back from the situation here, let's see, Terry's crouch jab is pretty good. You're able to escape the range of the lights a lot more easily. So here, let's find that perfect spacing. So in this spacing, when I do the feint, I actually escape the jab. Can I find that perfect spacing? Hold on. That's probably not going to exist. It's very minute. But anyways, with the feint cancel, it adds a tiny amount of pushback on this, and it makes it really difficult for people to take their turn back. So what ends up happening is, even though Sea Viper is -1 here, this -1 has so much pushback and has so much range, most of the time, even if people try to take their turn back, let's put on Crouching Medium Punch, for example, here. They're going to get whiff punished. So just having people around and harassing with Crouching Heavy Punch and to feint cancel is incredibly powerful, and can end up spacing trapping people a lot and lead to massive conversions. So because they can't just block forever, because it's taking a half-bar drive gauge chip every single time, and the ambiguous spacing, I think just walking around and representing this option will get people to bite so often, and it will get them liquidated. Like, they're just going to explode as soon as this makes contact. And you can do huge combos from this as well. So the feints are ridiculous, and I mean, just having this option also from stand heavy and just like maybe buffering after, you can trade with people. They try to take their turns back with mediums from like a space situation. You're just going to counter hit them. So really unique ways to keep her pressure going and to punish people for trying to take turns back. So the feint cancels are really strong. Really, really strong. Does a feint cancel with medium punch give you more pushback than heavy? Does it? I actually don't know that. It might. There's still more to explore with this character for sure. The heavy's the fastest one. Canceling with the light leaves you... It seems pretty similar. I think it's the same. You usually cancel with the heavy because it leaves you at the fastest... it's the most frame advantage. Yeah, stand heavy is not special cancelable, so for this to work, you have to interact with her super jump cancel, and then cancel the super jump cancel into the heavy thunder dash feint. So it has to flow together. Generally, canceling any of the normals, I think, adds a bit of pushback that isn't there. It modifies the pushback slightly, essentially, right? So it might not be too much based on the normal, and sometimes it doesn't even give you more frame advantage. Like, feint canceling the stand medium does not help you. You're +1 in stand medium, and on feint cancel, it makes you -2. So you generally, the good feint cancels are things like the crouch heavy and the stand heavy. Those are the most common on block ones you're going to be doing. Unless you're just trying to do some like I don't know, fake people out by not doing Seismo, or just like trying to fake people out from a medium. Generally, you're going to be doing it from your heavies. Now, stand medium, you lose frame advantage if you feint cancel the stand medium. So it's only, like I said, generally what I find is going to be your crouch heavy and your stand heavy is what you're feint canceling, in terms of pressuring people on block to try to fish for counter hits and things like that. Okay, another unique strength of Sea Viper also is she doesn't have a low forward drive rush, but she is a character kind of like Aki, where she can drive rush cancel into a crouching medium kick low and have it be a block string from her heavy. So that's really strong. And same thing from her crouching medium punch. You can block string from a drive rush cancel into the low. And on top of that, it's plus on block. And having this is always strong because, you know, if they're blocking, but they don't block low, they only do standing blocks, they're trying to get away from the pressure or are scared of the overhead, this will just give you a full combo every time, if you're not bad like me. So that can lead to really big damaging combos, and it can also interrupt people who are trying to snipe your driver's cancel gap with like an uppercut. If they're trying to do the DPOS, like they're trying to interrupt with a DP and they're sloppy with their inputs and don't do it from crouch, they can get hit low. So having just a block string from a drive rush cancel into low like that is always super powerful, and that's, you know, Sea Viper's of that classic character, where I think this is a pretty good string to go to. It's not perfect because it doesn't leave you in range to throw, which makes that a little weaker, even though she's +3. but having this as a string option to go into and a big damage combo cash out is very good. Okay, we're gonna get into the cons now. So she does have, I think, some minor weaknesses. So these are just kind of mild complaints, or not even complaints really, just weaknesses I think the character has. And one minor one I gotta admit is the execution. I think the execution is really fun with Sea Viper, but I don't think her execution is actually that hard once you get into the flow of understanding of how all of her systems interact. But I would be lying if I didn't say I lost sets because I didn't just get my crouching medium jump cancel into Thunder Dash and then, you know, into my level 3, and instead I got something like a random super jump, or I'm doing a Fierce Feint Fierce combo, and instead of getting the Fierce Feint Fierce and getting this full combo, I get this move instead, and I lose because this is negative 2 billion, right? So her execution, I think, is a little demanding. I don't think it's that hard, really. But any margin of error in a game like Street Fighter 6, where most other people are not operating under that same condition, like if you're doing just like baby mode combos with Terry, like you're not doing the optimal stuff, every character has hard optimal combos, but other people are not playing by the same rules to get the same damage output you're getting. Sea Viper is rewarded with slightly more damage, but if people just hit you with a low 4 dry rush out of nowhere when you make a mistake and then you die, it is, I would argue, a slight weakness of the character. Skill issue, yes, but you know, not everyone is playing with the same playing field in terms of execution difficulty, so it's definitely something that I think is slightly a con, even though she makes up for it in strengths in other ways. You will probably lose some games by messing up your execution. It's just part of the character, I think. Okay, another one, this one's kind of a minor gripe. I think her anti-air overlapping with level 2 is kind of weird. So a lot of the times you'll see, like, when people jump when I'm playing, I'll try to do my anti-air DP and level 2 will happen, and sometimes that works, but a lot of the times what ends up happening is they end up going behind the level 2 and you die. I mean, this happens with a lot of characters. It happens with Terry also trying to do Burn Knuckle, but this is super common when walking back and forth because the DP input is quarter circle back, heavy punch. Really common to get level 2. So I think that's a little bit of a weakness. Skill issue, still, you could call it skill issue, yeah, but definitely something that happens. Also, maybe some people are gods and they can cross-cut with this quarter circle back input, but I think Sea Viper is a little weaker to cross-up angles. She's not really like a Shoto, so it's kind of hard to cross-cut with her quarter circle back anti-air. That's something I'm struggling with. Maybe there's like some techniques I gotta learn to master, but I think she's a little more susceptible to cross-up jump-ins. She does have heavy kick, which is a very unique anti-air, and it's stronger than most people would realize. It goes out further and has some unique properties where you can potentially get big combos if it interacts correctly. It's hard to make it interact properly though because it trades a lot. That definitely happens. Here, let me get a different recording. Not that jumping. So, Sand Heavy Kick can anti-air, and you can actually get combo conversions with it. It's a little specific to situations where these work, so that's something I gotta work on. But that is a pro that she has. But I would say that, aside from that, the cross-up angles that I mentioned before, she's a little weaker too. I think Sea Viper is a character that has to focus a little bit more on like air-to-airs, jump back air-to-airs, to avoid being just crossed up in silly situations and losing their turn, essentially. Okay, another minor weakness is Sea Viper has no reversal aside from her level 1. Her supers, essentially. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. She does have invincible supers that she can use for defense, but she has no non-super invincible reversal, which is kind of interesting from a character from Street Fighter 4 who had like 17 invincible reversals. So she's in, I would say, the lower half of the cast in terms of defense. However, of course, she makes up for that. Like every character that doesn't have an invincible reversal, I think has other things that make up for that. If you look at like those characters, like of course Manon is a grappler. Grapplers make up for just by being grapplers. Aki has her slide, which is, you know, invincible to physical hits, but loses to throws. So she makes up for in that sense. So, and Bison is just Bison. But also, you know, it has air mobility. So I think Sea Viper has some issues with her defense, but, you know, she has super jump. Like, if you give her some space in the corner, she can just kind of super jump out and try to burn kick away. That is technically punishable, but it's kind of a guess. Or you can do what I mentioned earlier, just jump out, burn kick. Like, her mobility options and flexibility and moving around the screen do improve her defense to a degree, but she's slightly weaker because she doesn't have an on-demand EX reversal in the defense department. But it's nothing too crazy. All right, you know what we're doing when we bring out JP. All right, so another issue she has, this is another minor complaint, is Sea Viper has a really hard time setting up a strong burnout guaranteed sequence, meaning it's very difficult for her to set up a really tight button into DI in order to avoid losing to things like JP Amnesia when they're in burnout and Marissa Armored Stance. You have to hit on like frame 2 or 3 to interrupt the armor startup. And if you do any of her buttons straight into DI, it just doesn't work. So you have to end up doing things like medium drive rush cancel to crouch heavy into DI, or medium to DI, in order to have enough frame advantage to beat Amnesia and Stance. So if you're just trying to get us easy like button into DI in these characters, you're gonna get smoked. You're gonna get smoked. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. I think she has to be a little bit more deliberate about setting up her DI strings than other characters. So just a minor weakness there, I think, but not too big of a deal. How do I represent this? I don't really think it matters.
Oh, well, if you can't beat them, join them!
Freydan, thanks for the prime, appreciate that. Okay, so those are all like kind of minor nitpicky weaknesses with the character, nothing too big. I think the next two are really big. So, I mentioned how strong I think her heavy punch is. It's 9 frames, good range, and you can do things like pressure with the feint cancels. And I also think a lot of her other buttons are really good. I think her stand MK is really good. But, you know, it is held back a little bit, I think, by needing to do jump cancel into the special moves, which makes her, like, if Sea Viper herself is in burnout, her mediums become a lot weaker because you can no longer do any kind of cancels out of these mediums, which makes, like, her ability to just, like, do button into special, like, really kind of weak, rather. But in general, I think her buttons are all pretty good. Except for when it comes to the ability to deal with drive rush, right? I think her drive rush checks, like a lot of players have been saying, are really weak because her crouching medium punch, while it is 6 frames, is not juiced. A lot of the crouching medium punches look at like a Terry, even like a Ryu, a Mai. They got some juicy crouching medium punches. They have great pokes that are fast, 6 frame startup, and can intercept with drive rushes. Look at JP's crouching medium punch. It's amazing. Sea Viper does not have the juice when it comes to this button. This button is definitely lacking in range severely compared to a lot of the cast. So checking drive rush when people try to approach with this button is very liable to whiff. And you end up getting a counter hit or punish countered by their drive rush button. The issue then with doing things like crouching medium kick is that, like, this is 8 frames. This is not a terrible option, but because you can only jump cancel it, you can't do this into a drive rush cancel to get a ton of reward. If someone is doing a drive rush at you, like, you want to kill them. You want to hit them with maybe a drive rush cancel of your own in order to convert that into a lot of damage, right? So if you do it into a crouching medium kick, it's like you can potentially do things like you can do Seismo. That is an option, but it's already an 8-frame move. It's very difficult where you might get clipped. So if they do like a drive rush light, you're probably gonna get stuffed. So I think for slower, further range drive rushes, the mediums into Seismo jump cancel is pretty good. But man, you are getting cooked when it comes to a lot of drive rushes. Like when people randomly drive rush at you and do lights or fast drive rushes, your 5LK I think is the best option in order to deal with that. But it's a lot of meter for not that much damage, and drive rush checking with lights into drive rush cancel of your own, it's not ideal. So I think yeah, she suffers with checking drive rushes essentially, which is definitely a really big deal with her. Really big deal. More destroying. Yeah, I think it might be a combination of the hitbox, hurtbox. I'm not sure the actual numbers on her medium punch, but it just doesn't interact the way you want it to as often. I think the big part is no like super easy low forward drive rush cancel and slightly worse hitbox, hurtbox interaction on the crouching medium. It leads you to explode randomly. Yeah, you can use your lights. For sure, you can use your lights, but that's less reward on it. So I think you have the default to using lights. But using lights, I think, is inherently unreliable for further range drive rushes, because you don't know if they're going to do things like a medium, or if they're going to go in further for a light, or go in further for a throw. Having smaller hitboxes out to check a drive rush means you're more likely to get mixed up by their button of choice. It's just not as big of a hitbox to cover more ranges. So for close drive rushes, yeah, lights are always a solid option. But from further out, where they have more flexibility in how deep they go in with the drive rush and what button they press, it becomes more and more of a guess when you use lights. And Sea Viper feels incentivized to use lights, and that means I think out here she's having more issues and people are drive rushing at her. So I definitely think that's a big problem. But okay, I think this might be the #1 problem with Sea Viper, and I think this makes her a significantly weaker character than others in this one specific aspect. So let me go ahead and set this up to demonstrate my point here. Okay, we're gonna get the exact settings here. Horror Orchid, thanks for the 5 months. Appreciate that. Thanks for the continued support. Okay. I'm going to demonstrate a very important sequence here, and I want you to tell me if you notice anything after this is done. So. Oops. What? Oh, hold on. I don't have the thing set correctly. Redo. Let's have vitality on standard. So that was a basic sequence where, because Terry was in a very low drive gauge, I used my level 1 there in order to burn out the opponent to secure the DI and then kill them. Seems like a pretty standard interaction, right? Pretty standard. However, what you weren't seeing during that whole sequence was something very important with the bottom left of the screen. Now, let me do a similar interaction, but with Terry here instead. So I'm going to set that up with Terry really quick. Oh, we're on drive gauge. So imagine that killed, right? Look at the meter during this sequence. Both of these were doing a level 1 to burn out the opponent in order to get that guaranteed stun to put them in a kill situation. After I got the stun with Terry, and I did that combo, which, just pretend it killed there, I built back nearly an entire bar super during that whole time. The issue with Sea Viper is, while she's in her level 1 install, which she has to use in order to put them into the burnout in the first place, you don't build any meter. Any action that happens during this level 1, it just, she's able to do all of her Seismo cancels, her feint cancels, all of that, and not suffer the consequences of losing any drive gauge. But you literally do not build any super meter. The problem is, level 1's utility in this game is intended for generally either closing out a round or for shaving off that last little bit of drive gauge to secure a burnout. And in a lot of common situations, that's done in round 1, where you're spending that little bit of super meter to secure the stun, and you're going to build back more meter during that stun combo, secure the round, and you're going to keep cycling through all of your meter. The problem with Sea Viper's level 1, which I think is a cool level 1, like having the ability to be in this mode and to just go crazy. Like, I think it's really cool, especially during burnout. Like, you're just going ham, doing a bunch of shenanigans. Like, you're doing a ton of stuff. It's really fun. But you build 0 super meter during any of this. And having that on the level 1 means you are being punished actively for playing the meta of putting the opponent in burnout, getting the stun combo, and building back your resources to have them for later on in the game. I think this is actually a massive, massive problem for this character. Now, normally you might be wondering, like, okay, is that really that big a deal? There's lots of installs that are really good. And there are. Like, if you look at a character like Blanca, for example, his level 2 is an install, and it's really, really good. You're not wrong. Here, let's look at an example of that. Okay, Blanca's level 2, we all know is messed up, but, like, it's super messed up, right? Like, you can have them, What is the sequence? You can have them here, like, 3 bars of drive gauge, and they're just cooked. But by the time you put them in burnout, and you make them go through this whole process where they're not interacting with you whatsoever, the game comes to a halt, by the way. When Blanca's in that level 2, you're not interacting with the level 2. You're kind of just on defensive mode, looking to not die to any of his approaches, and you're playing defense for a while. If Blanca manages to put you in a unfavorable situation stacked in his favor, he's going to earn the next interaction without the super installed and start building his drive gauge back. Like with that stun, for example, I spent the level 2 to put you into burnout when you were at 3 bars of drive gauge. I earn the stun, I start cycling through my meter immediately after in order to then build potentially another level 2. Blanca's level 2 works because the game comes to a halt and it's in his favor. However, like with Sea Viper, when she's in level 1, the game, I don't think, comes to a halt in that sense, and you're not immediately cashing out into a stun or anything to start building back your meter. If you're in level 1, you go back to neutral, like, yeah, it's stacked more in Sea Viper's favor, but you're still playing the game, and if she does end up killing you, it's going to be via straight hits or anything, and you're just going to not have meter for the rest of the round. So I think the meter build is a huge problem for this, and then when you compare it to someone like Mai, it's a little different. When you look at Mai, her level 1 is also an install. However, her install is a completely separate resource. When Mai pops her level 1, not only does she have an element of that Blanca level 2 install, where you don't interact with the character as much because she now has the best projectiles in the game. She can often, versus other fireball characters, just completely shut out their fireball game. It ends up being a much more stacked in Mai's favor situation where she's less interactable on top of having enhanced combo routes and all of that. It's not offense where she's engaging with the opponent. She becomes less interactable during this time. So she has an element of that Blanca, like you're not interacting with the character as much and they're dictating the pace, but also she's building super this whole time. Yeah, her level 2 also gets buffed, right? What's up, Danny? Yeah, her level 2, what is that? Like I forget the input for that one. You're not going to want to interact with her because she can just level 2 you from full screen. But she's able to build super meter that whole time and hold on to the flame stocks. So she has none of the downsides of any of the installs because it's a separate resource. So with Sea Viper, on the other hand, her level 1 being the install and not a separate icon with, like, I don't know, a heal with a spark on it, whatever motif you would use. Because Sea Viper is the install timer on the level 1, I think it kind of breaks the entire meta for the super and resource building of the game. Mai breaks it in her favor, and Sea Viper breaks it against her favor. It doesn't work with how you're supposed to play the game. Like, you're actively being punished for using your level 1 in earlier rounds to burn people out. And what ends up happening is you end up, if you use level 1 too liberally, you are significantly hurting your meter economy. And in final rounds, you will have less access to level 3 in CA. Where level 3 in CA in the final round is so important. That's a massive part of the game. And even in final round situations, you can't spend level 1 early and then build back your level 3. So there's so many other characters who can spend level 1 early in a round and build the super back. Like, say you somehow secure a really early burnout, someone does a drive rush cancel sequence on you, and they're at a pixel, and then you get a level 1 on them, burn them out, get an early stun combo. You're actually not going to be able to build back your level 3 to close out the round like other characters would in that situation. So I found that her level 1 is super fun, but you actually get actively punished, I think, for using it. I found my win rate going up a lot when I stopped playing with it. Why is the cam always dying, man? Camera! Brother, I swear to God, this thing's been overheating more and more, and I do not know why. Oh, you ate it? Thanks. We'll give it a little reset there. Level 1 so acid broke Brian's camera. The problem is it's a fun level 1, man. Is this Sweet Trip? Probably. They're in the playlist. We back? Let's see. All right, we're back. Where was I? Anyways, Sea Viper's level 1 is very fun, but I think if you actually try to use it to be able to have access to all your tools and you go crazy, like, you actually get punished for that. So don't use her level 1 unless it's going to kill or really secure a stun that you need to, because it will hurt your meter economy bad. Okay, but that's it for her pros and cons. Before I get into how strong I think she actually is competitively and how viable she is, let me give you my personal experience with the character. And I think Sea Viper is fun. She's a fun character, and she's fun, but you can't go super crazy. I think I was having a little bit too much fun when I was first playing her, just doing a lot of Seismo spam and trying to use this move too much. I think doing Seismo and Seismo feints feels so good, but I think spamming her options like it's Street Fighter 4 is definitely a recipe for disaster. I think playing a little bit more calm and collected and, you know, waiting for your opportunity to do things like Seismo and also just playing a little bit of a traditional footsie game is definitely a much better option. So I think she's like a kinetic character, offensive character, but you can't go crazy with her. But more than that, what I think I like about Sea Viper the most is how it feels to play the character. I can't stress enough how much I think fighting games are a physical medium. I think it's important to feel that connection with the buttons you're pressing and the actions that happen on screen. And just doing basic fierce feint, fierce combos, and doing this FADC, or not even FADC, drive rush cancel. See, it's getting my Street Fighter 4 brain going. Doing these drive rush cancel loops, where you're doing the feints, it just feels good. It just feels really good. And when you finally get access to like more of the jump cancel shenanigans and landing things like the heavy kick into OD Seismo, things of that nature, things that you have to work for a little bit, it feels very good. There was a very steep learning curve in the beginning. Like, I didn't really understand how to do any of these inputs at all, and I was really struggling. A big part of that being like learning the inputs on leverless is just not intuitive. I take back what I said about this not being effective on leverless. I think Sea Viper is actually really ergonomic and easy to use on leverless. It's just not intuitive. You have to memorize the codes. But once you get it, it feels really good. And I think having that little bit of friction in order to access the higher level aspects of the character, I think the friction matters. Like, a lot of people talk about accessibility and how we can make fighting games more accessible and ease of use and all that. I think an element of friction is actually a key component to making things feel like you're connected with the game and the character. And I think with Sea Viper, that element is there. Like, I got to spend a lot of time in training mode, just learning how to input certain sequences and to be able to move more fluid with her across the screen. And that is a lot of fun. That is a lot of fun. So I think Sea Viper offers that where a lot of characters in this game don't. Not saying that no other character does, but she offers a unique perspective on that. So I think that is a really unique aspect to this character that I really enjoy. So if you're looking for a character that feels good just to press buttons and do things, like Sea Viper is that character. Just walking around and doing fierce punch feint and then like walking around like that, it just feels good. So I recommend trying that out. But anyways, as far as competitive strength, I think Sea Viper is a good character. I think she is maybe around Sagat level, maybe a little bit worse than Sagat, but I definitely think we're going to be seeing dedicated Sea Viper players in the future picking up this character. I would say she's probably going to have a more dedicated role in the meta as it stands right now compared to a character like Elena, would be my guess. Yeah, Sagat, I think people are finally starting to gravitate towards Sagat a lot more. I think Sagat is very strong, but I think Sea Viper is good. I don't think she requires like an extra balance patch to make her juiced up enough. Like, Terry was definitely kind of weak, I think, and then they overjuiced him. I think Terry right now is top tier as all hell. But you know, when he released, it felt like something was missing with the character. I think Sea Viper, they hit a really good sweet spot with her. Like I said, I think the level 1, I think that's kind of a mistake though. I think there's something pretty weak about that, but I think there is a really good character here. So we already have Dat Corgi and Capcom Cup. I think we might be seeing more Sea Vipers soon. And anyways, that's my thoughts about Sea Viper. I know I'm late to the party, but let me know what you think in the comments. And let me know if you learned anything. I was trying to make this more in-depth and informative. And that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Peace. Boom. Okay. Clip it and ship it. When is the balance patch, Brian? I don't fucking know. Don't expect anything. That way you won't be disappointed. That's always a strategy. Okay, guys. I'm going to take a quick break here. And then we got more when I get back. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate y'all. BRB. BRB.
いつまで待たせるのかしら。来なさい。あんまり長引かせる気はないのだけど。来なさい。いつまで待たせるのかしら。来なさい。
Oh, nice. Perfect. What? Dude, this is crazy. I got all the fans going. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. It's not hot in here. I wonder if it's like the positioning, like it's getting heat from my monitor. I don't know what it is. It's just like not hot. Why are you overheating so much? I actually do. It's getting a little worrying. The camera does not even feel hot. Just weird. Privacy setting? I don't think it's that either. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. All right, so I want to take a look back at some of the history of the Japanese World Warriors. And let's go take it all the way back to 2023, back when the Japanese World Warrior events for the first season of Street Fighter 6 were only getting a lowly 628 players in the 500 to 700 range for the entrance. And if you take a look at the history of the winners for these events, you might be noticing something interesting. It's Oniki who wins the first one, Yamaguchi, and then Tokido, good old Tokido. And then at the end, we have a sweep from Fudo. Fudo winning number 4, number 5, and then Fudo goes on to win the regional final, which was very important because in this version of the CPT, Japan was not a super region. That concept didn't exist. You had to earn the CPT points, or the World Warrior points rather, to get to your regional final, and then you had to win the regional final to get into Capcom Cup. So Fudo at the very end, he hit his stride and went on to Capcom Cup and ended up finishing, I believe, in the top 16, top 9, or maybe top 8 placement at Capcom Cup. Had a really good season 1 for Street Fighter 6. And then come into the 2024 season, let's take a look at the winners again. Kakadu, first place. Higuchi, first place. Kawano, first place. Fudo again, then Momochi. Notice how it's pretty difficult to win more than one of these in the season. Typically in the Japan World Warriors, people are not consistently winning, and a part of that is due to the increased level of competition, now cracking over 765 players, more than the very first World Warrior event, which is pretty surprising for a competitive game. Like normally the first season of tournaments has by far the most entrants, and over time, you know, it whittles away as the more dedicated players remain. But in Japan, the numbers were going up. And then enter World Warrior 2025, where the first World Warrior event of this season had 2,357 players, which is unheard of. Suddenly, out of nowhere in Japan, the numbers are skyrocketing far and beyond the 600 for the first season. And for this season, we had similar happenings to the last season, right? Goichi wins the first one. Then Hibiki with Lily, mind you, wins number 2 with Daigo getting second. And it kind of seemed like things were going to be, you know, as it was before with Sahara, you know, winning the third one, where we're going to have a new winner for every single World Warrior event. That was until World Warrior number 4, which just happened just this past week with over 1,253 attendees, where Sahara became the first person to win since 2023 more than one World Warrior event, and on top of that, to win them back to back with Kawano getting second place. So Good 8 Squad is kind of cooking. And this is what got me thinking is like, man, Sahara, I was kind of counting you out when Sahara was picked up for Good 8 Squad. They were the reigning Street Fighter League world champions. I was like, who is this dude, right? I hadn't really heard of him up until that point. And now he's cooking in the World Warrior, and he's doing his thing there. And now he's in the lead for the points, and Japan's now a super region. So he's looking pretty good to qualify via the points and get his ticket directly to Capcom Cup by having the most points in the World Warrior, which would be the case if he hadn't already qualified by winning UFA, one of the 8 premier tournaments, just before winning all of these World Warrior events. So if you actually look at his results here, in Japan World Warrior #1, Sahara drowned in pools. He got top 384th place. And immediately after that, the next week, after placing 384th in his World Warrior opening event for the season in Japan, he goes on to win a premier CPT qualifier in France in UFA to get into Capcom Cup. So I don't know what happened in this week, but since then he's turned things around because he went on to make top 8 in all 3 World Warrior events after that, including winning #3 outright and winning #4. It is safe to say we have not seen this level of dominance from a player in Japan in quite some time in the world of Street Fighter 6. So something happened. I don't know what happened on this day in September, but Sahara here, is it Sahara? Sahara here has been on a tear ever since drowning in pools over here in World Warrior Japan. So there's officially a new king of Japanese Street Fighter, and we're going to go ahead and watch the top 8 and watch Sahara's matches to see what exactly he's doing with the nerfed and killed version of Ed, and figure out why Sahara is currently the most dominant player in Japan. So let's go ahead and check it out. So here's a top 8 bracket we have going into the World Warrior here for Japan. So he's going up against Karo, which is a Kimberly player, someone who I'm also not familiar with. There's always like a couple of wild cards in the World Warrior top 8s where you've never heard of them or seen them before, but then they're absolutely just like destroying everybody. So for this one, it's Karo. So let me go ahead and get that. Oh, he's playing Elena? Never mind. Elena? Hold on. Before we get into it, look, if it wasn't enough proof of how Street Fighter's taken off in Japan with them going from 600 to over 2,000 entrants in the World Warrior online tournament qualifiers, look at how they have live viewing parties for the online tournaments. And I'm sure that this is just one of several venues they have. It really is that big in Japan. I really cannot stress that enough. So Sahara with the nerfed Ed up against Elena. More and more Elena's creeping up there, but I think, maybe I'm mistaken, but I believe Karo does have a Kimberly as well. Check the drive rush. Okay. Let's see here. Does some bite on the drive rush shimmy. All right, Karo. Okay, trade combo. Yeah, you can try to snipe that gap there, but there is a trade combo. Man, backdash sway after the flicker connects here. That's very interesting. They definitely did nerf a lot of aspects of Ed in that one major balance patch. However, giving him the ability to kill rush out after flicker, both just for offensive situations and for resetting with backdash, is just huge. Man, this has been all Karo so far. Okay, mashing perfect parry on the light strings, side swap. Let me see. Chat, was that a hit confirm? You think he hit confirmed that? He was gonna have to burn that level 2 no matter what. If that was blocked, the OD is -4. You'd have to go into level 2 no matter what there. Pre-nerf, that was free. I don't know if he hit confirmed it. He might have. Oh, drive rush jab bait. What a turnaround. Yeah, he finally got some momentum, got a corner situation after the perfect parry. Driver's jab. Ed's driver's jab is so strong. Fudo represented that option so much. Crouching MK whip punish counter conversion. Oh, that was Opti. He could have gone even further, I think, with OD Blitz there. He wanted to fully cash out. But that's that a dead Elena. Strong conversion. All right, back to the Kim. This is what I expected. I didn't know the Elena was coming out. I was definitely expecting the Kimberly. I didn't believe that. Sand MK is like, you know, people are arguing that no matter how much you nerf Ed, he's going to be fundamentally strong, and I kind of agree with his practically unwhiff punishable normals and the way Flicker interacts. Like, not having a throw loop isn't a problem when you have options like meaty Flicker. But look at that, that's an actual punish there. But Karo couldn't believe it himself. Like, he didn't convert into anything because he didn't actually believe he'd get the whiff punish. It is possible to whiff punish if you have the right normal, the stand MK, but it's just very rare. Oh, okay, the Rob TV. Dude, look at the mashing here. My man immediately mash jabbed after blocking Karo's first initial button there. Meaty? Ooh, oh, okay, immediate level 2, but you're still burnt. Oh no, you're dead. Wow, it's been a little unfortunate. I feel like that first game was also looking really good for him with his Elena also. Sahara is not biting on the shimmies. His challenge timing with buttons has been really strong. Okay, nice throw. Just solid button timing and placement. Yeah, you're not. I don't believe. Yeah, I don't believe. That drive gauge situation was not in your favor. How many times is he going to mash jab immediately? After every single blocked light, he's immediately calling out any option with the reversal light. He's so consistently gone for that option. And he's counter hit converting into the crush and light kick every time. That's the only way you get that conversion to get the DP knockdown. Okay, stagger throw. Come on, Carl, get something going. Starting to feel a little bad. Nice spacing on that slide. All right, Sahara, what do you do here? Throw looping. Sahara doesn't tech. I don't think he techs. That might be the secret. Optimization on the punish counter to the stand heavy kick right there on that punish. Nice DP. Oh, you are very dead. If he shoots, it's a spend.
Now let's talk about the trash. What do I do with the trash?
Consolation buffs, man. I don't think he would have killed with level 1 pre-patch where he got nerfed. The kill rush buffs there for the combo conversion. What if Deltic, when am I going back to playing Ad? Probably not happening. Thanks for the 2 months. I mean, you can play Ad whenever. Wait, hold on. What happened here? Backdash. Oh my god. Yeah, Flicker isn't that crazy? What a crazy move. Like this backdash to avoid the sequence, avoid the tick throw, button into special just to try to take your turn back. And this is basically a button to a fireball. Then this fireball punish counters because they dare try to check your offense. And you get a full combo conversion from it. Like when you really think about it, Flicker is a fireball that punish counters the shit out of you and kills you. Empty jump low? Yeah. The fake jump pressure is really strong after any of the blitz knockdowns. Yeah, maybe I was too much of a chronic Ed down player when I played him, but it's insane to think that Flicker is a fireball that will punish counter you. Dominant 3-0. Sahara moving on to winners finals. All right, winners finals, an all good 8 squad. Dude, these guys are just actually that good, aren't they? Kawano and Sahara. Probably Ed is going to get nerfed again. Maybe. I feel like Ed is so fundamentally strong. And a lot of the top Japanese players just play some Ed, man. Very safe character. Oh, okay. Wow. He tried to walk into that grill. Backdash on the throw. Backdash on the throw into walk-up throw. The defensive RPS from the Japan tournaments is always, like, insane. Oh, wait a minute. A gift from Kawano to his teammate. Dry parry OS. And suddenly, dude, that is crazy. Suddenly, with that one flicker bait, he baited out the parry from Kawano, and that put him in a horrible drive gauge situation, and now this is actually a winnable round for Sahara. That is the power of Ed's flicker. Managing their drive gauge. This is very doable. Oh my god, what a check. That was your life. Take a look at the situation. So first of all, obviously, Kawano messed up. But he got the back throw, and he goes for the meaty parry in the situation. Or the meaty flicker in the situation. And the counter to the meaty flicker is, of course, to parry. But there's a game of chicken, because Ed can command dash forward and throw your parry, or back. But you can maybe drive rush out of there, and get a hit as well. And he goes for the back dash, just to bait out the parry into drive rush, and now Kawano has no drive gauge. And that dictated the rest of the round, and Sahara almost made that comeback. Yeah, my camera's cooked, man. I don't know. This is crazy. I don't understand why it's doing that. It's only been on for 2 hours, and for some reason it wants to die over and over. What's up, man? You can hit me up maybe on email. Might be better. I'll check it out. Come on. I might have to go camless. We might have to bring out Sketch Smiley for a while. I don't know what else to do. Might have to go VTuber mode for a little bit. I think we got to do this. Counter hit conversion again, or punish counter conversion on the stand MK driver's cancel to get the more optimal conversion to the heavies. Always gotta have that awareness on your driver's cancels. If you got a regular hit, counter hit, or punish counter, you get different combo routes. Throw loop in, yeah, Sahara, man, he doesn't throw attack. Oh, he finally did. All right, just to spite me, huh? No way. No way. What was he looking for? Air fireball? Yagriho, thanks for the prime. Appreciate that. All right, first game Kawano there. All right, go for the safe jump? Okay, goes for the safe jump. Attack on the drive gauge. Getting a mid-screen safe jump like that is really good just for being able to attack the drive gauge. Potential empty jump mind games as well to go for the grab if they hold parry. Oh, actual whiff punish on Ed Stand MK. Oh, you tried again. See? Oh my god. This is the danger of trying to play footsies with a sweep. Kawano's feeling like hot shit because he whiff punished Stand MK one time. He tries to do it again on the crouch MK, gets bodied for it. Level 2? Is that dead? Yes, sir. Kawano, clean. Wow, nice perfect parry on that. But you're too spaced out to do nothing. Checked on the overextension. Oh, shit. Yeah, like I mentioned, there's a game of chicken here, right? Because Sahara could dash in here, throw the parry. Or Kawano can then drive rush out of this and jab check them if he tries to dash in to punish the hold parry. Or Sahara could sit here and hold the flicker, and then if he holds parry, then drive rushes in. He could like release the flicker later and grab him out of the drive rush. Or the wheel of options keeps turning, and I think Kawano's just like, fuck that. I'm getting in there one way or the other. Drive rush into DP. Oh, was that another whip punish? Nice whip punish on the Stand MK. All right, mid-screen safe jump. Kawano just decides to go into burnout on his own terms. Ride out the storm. Plus frames. Wow. Partial charge heavy. Clips him trying to jump out of the situation. Dash under from the odd cross-up angle. Uh-oh, back throw. Hold on. That was kind of... Sahara was cooking there for a second. Plus frames. Oh, he teched. Rare tech. One touch and he gets level 3 conversion. Driver cancel to get in for the tick grab. Sudden life lead. Yeah, OD fireball will disrupt the flicker there. You can't take another hit now. What? Dude, what are they on in Japan? First of all, the quality went to shit here. Second of all, did my man do random DI out of nowhere like that? I think he could have counter DI'd. That was a jump scare. He had enough health, I believe, to counter DI. It's not like he had to parry there. It was just a interesting call out. Backdash on the throw. Oh, dream time. What do you got here? Okay, 1D sync. Going for the classic dream. Coast to coast, no shin dream there, but efficient. Meaty. Oh, he got another level 2. The meter build is insane. Now next throw's gonna kill. And that's why this is an Ed round. Okay, he messed up the sequence. He could have thrown him there. He did the throw too early. Whoa, nice perfect parry. That took me back to 2024 early season 2 Ed. You dream combo coast to coast. You build your meter back. You get an immediate second conversion to level 2, and then the next interaction kills. That was 2024 Ed right there. They nerfed the meter build so that it doesn't build as much bar and your drive gauge doesn't come back. Or it doesn't deplete drive gauge till after. They definitely nerfed a lot of meter aspects of that, but that was crazy. Crouch MK to OD. Meaty fireball pressure. You missed. You're getting damage. What up, Jelly Jams? We're watching the new King of Japan here, Sahara. Nice conversion for the fireball. Oh, a little Tatsu frame kill. Meaty lights. Having an invincible reversal is always good no matter what, but Ed's being slow means you can definitely time your meaty pressure with lights and blocking time. So it's a much weaker reversal. Still a reversal. Still good to have. Conversion. I think he kind of hit confirmed that. The crouching MK. Oh, that's big damage. Snipe the limbs. Oh, meaty heavy. Where are you going, Kawano? You're dead. Shades of like a Ken right there. Just straight duff to the face. Meaty heavy punch conversion. Superman punch in. That was plus frames. A little +1 on that, I believe. Oh, yeah. Can't command dash out of that one. Oh, try to backdash mid-screen, jump away. Hold that to the corner. My man did wake up, drive rush into overhead. He ate a wake up reversal and in return did wake up, drive rush into overhead. Did that work? Damn. I mean, it would have killed. Sahara was already qualified for the cup, right? Yes, he qualified for Capcom Cup. Just to be clear, in case I feel like I almost didn't establish that correctly. He qualified for Capcom Cup and then went on to enter every single World Warrior after that just to gatekeep and is getting top 8 or winning. Just for the love of the game, my man's is gatekeeping all of Japan. He gets nothing out of this. There's no money. There might be money. I'm actually not sure. Most of the World Warriors don't have money. I'm assuming, especially in Japan, I'm assuming there's no money. There's nothing he can gain from this. He's literally just messing with the lineup here. Like he's absorbing the points. Somehow Dogura, who hasn't, I don't know if he's cracked a top 8 since the first event, is here in second. How is look at the point spread compared to everybody else. This is nuts. Look how tight the point spread is. No one can get any points. Dogura, who hasn't, he got second in the first one. Did he make another? I don't think he's made a single other top 8. Because no one has that level of consistency at all. Dogura, how are you? This is crazy that he is the person so far in the auto qualifier position. It's actually nuts. So yeah, Sahara is just pulling away with it. He was in top 8 in this one. Let me put some respect in Dogura's name. Oh, that's right. He got a 5th. Okay, baller. That's huge. If you get like a 1st and a 5th, you're almost guaranteed to qualify for Capcom Cup. He whiff parried the match jab. Kawano is always showing levels of disrespect I never thought possible. He always has the most fuck you plays. It's kind of an art. Kawano's playstyle definitely embodies the I think you're ass, and I'm gonna prove it. Oh shit, the fully charged heavy clipped him. It's interesting how that's not the first time he's represented this, right? When the opponent is burned out, he seems to play with the mind game of partial charge or fully charged heavy punch, because the fully charged heavy punch will side swap and it'll be plus no matter what. And I forget what partial charge is. I guess partial charge is still plus if they're burnout. I believe it's -2 normally, if I remember correct. So he really represents it a lot. More so than I see other Eds doing. Bates level 1. Micro walk. Oh shit, what, meterless? This is why you learn your micro walk. So he's going to preserve the drive gauge by holding parry on there. And then the heavy kick punish counter, stand heavy punch, it's going to be a drive rush cancel. And after this drive rush heavy kick, Ed has a really lenient micro walk combo. You have a lot of frame advantage here on the drive rush heavy kick. So you walk forward for a few frames at this point in the combo. There's the walk forward. And then you build a sliver of drive gauge right before you do the medium. And then that's where you do your drive rush cancel. And that leaves you a sliver of drive gauge right here for one extra drive rush cancel to extend your combo. And what that allowed for, that this was a specifically relevant situation, this let him save the super in the situation. See, right here? Or he would have done even less damage before this, but he would have had to spend level 1 here for sure without the micro walk to kill. But with the micro walk, he gets to do the DP ender instead. So that's huge for the meter management. Very, very easy for micro walks, that combo. Like, that is definitely a combo every competitive Ed player should be doing in that situation. Oh, got caught trying to get out of the way. Sand medium punch her combo. Clipped a movement option, either a jump or a backdash. Scoop City. Sahara, don't be teching. Yeah, he's gonna wake up level 3 or die. He's not gonna throw tech. He barely throws techs. It's interesting. Statistically, you take the throw. Wow, drive rush fireball. And is he confirming that every time the crouching medium connects, that's when he goes for the OD flicker? Nice crosscut from Kawano. That could have been crosscut level 3 though. I think that might have killed. Oh, he risked it. That was the set. That was blocked. Air fireball to get in. Frame rate tanked. Come on now. Come on now. Stagger jab conversion, level 3. Kawano takes the winners finals. And how has Kawano done up till this point? This was Kawano's first top 8 of the season, I think. Alright, GG Kawano. Alright, losers finals. Oh, sweet. Kincho. Yeah, Kincho from Japan. It's awesome to see him have some tournament success. He gets into this top 8, goes deep into this top 8 with his Terry. Now, people were hyping up Kincho for a while as being the Japanese Terry player. We saw him at Esports World Cup a little bit. You know, I'm a fan of the Terry. Sahara versus Kincho. Two of the newer up-and-coming... Well, I don't think Sahara's up-and-coming. He's that dude right now. But Kincho is also, you know, been climbing the ranks recently. Walk-up stand light kick buffer to the burn knuckle. Interesting. Oh, plus frames, plus frames. Try to sneak it with a grab, clipped. Nice conversion. What's the mix? Goes low with it. Straight into crouching medium kick after the stand jab. Interesting. Okay. So, Kincho uses a lot of like preemptive stand light kick buffer to burn knuckle. I've never really seen that. Clipping any extended hurt box from Sahara. Alright, finds a clip. Man, he just challenged immediately after the plus frames. No fear. Uh-oh. Hold on. You weren't supposed to get hit by that, my man. Just a block. No one's blocking, though. Except Kincho. He's taking the throws. Throw loops. Oh, my God. The nerfed throw loop. I'm telling you. Why do people act like having a drive rush throw loop is the end of the world? Sahara scores the back throw, gets in with the drive rush cancel into throw, dashes up into the fake throw, drive rush throw loop again. You don't need a true throw loop. If you have it with drive rush, it's still extremely threatening and powerful. Oh my God, the fireball punish counter, full corner conversion. Oh, he's in. Was that a meaty stand, meaty punch plus frame sequence? Meaty fireball backdash? Okay, Kincho finding something. That was a great sequence from Sahara. What's up, MC Monkey 04? Thanks for the 17. Like the new haircut? Thanks, man. I know I'm looking good for once, finally. Oh, driver's jab, the stand like it. Driver's check whiffed. This is the problem with trying to check drive rush with lights. It's just very easy to like press the button too soon and have this situation occur where they go green, you react, but you react too fast and it just whiffs. Look at the like Terry's stand like is going through Ed right there. But not enough active frames and not enough of an extended hitbox or hurtbox, rather, from the Drive Rush E Ed here. And yeah, it's the danger of using light for driver's checks. Just not fast, but what they have in speed, they lack in hitbox reliability. Mess up his buffer there. Oh, he's getting punished. He's getting punished. Oh, he's going for a mid-screen dream. There's a variation here. Nice. If you get too close to the corner, you can't do the dream combos at all. But as you get mid-screen and closer, you're going to do different variations. So Sahara with a really good awareness there for that level 2 conversion to squeeze a little bit more optimization out of it. DP? Blitz? Oh, he's feeling it. He's feeling it. Oh my God, just worms his way in for the grab. Wait, Kincho, he eats the tick. Makes the throw ineffective. Hold on. Oh my God. I feel like we're all the same in this situation. It's just a reminder that everyone is human, no matter the level. Terry lands level 3 and just goes full screen straight into your grill. He doesn't go for an immediate meaty or anything, which is what you initially expect, which is what causes you to clam up, and then straight to overhead into level 3. And remember, all this started because Sahara had his throw whiff because Kincho mashed into his pressure, got punish counter or counter hit, and then the throw whiffed. No, you live and die by a thread in Street Fighter 6. Nice punish counter conversion to the stand light punch to the crouching MK from Kincho. Alright, what is Sahara gonna do here? Big whip punish. Oh no, crouching heavy kick whip punish into the OD. Oh, he look, this is the dropped level 2 damage, by the way. So Sahara, you know, getting the crouch heavy into OD blitz into level 2, that's going to be maximum damage. But here he actually misses the dream. He mistimes the blitz so that they fall right into the blitz. Probably did a little bit too early. And basically what happens is this does even less damage than if you had done a basic level 2 non-dream combo. But even when you mess up, you know, you salvage it by just throwing in a heavy DP there and just taking what you can get. Look how much damage it does even when you mess up. Not bad. Not bad. Your concession reward for dropping your dream combo is still really good. Dude, did he just hold the parry there? Nice zoning and use of the burn knuckle from Kincho. Superman punch to the back throw. What do you got? Oh, calls out the shimmy. Immediate throw tech. Early throw tech will beat shimmy from that situation. Oh, he didn't believe in the counter hit. Ah, but the walk up crouch heavy kick from Sahara takes it. Up 2-0. These were close games. Driver's jab. Super strong option from Ed. Mid-screen safe jump. Look at the drive gauge situation. This is why the safe jump is so good, right? So Kincho's already kind of in a bad spot with his drive gauge, but he gets the drive rush jab conversion. Kincho is just about at 3 bars of drive gauge here. On the safe jump, you normally, heavy kick will whiff on crouchers. The stand heavy kick, this whiffs on crouching opponents, but because it's a safe jump, it lets it force you to stand block it here because you're standing fuzzy hurt box on a single frame there, and your drive gauge went from slightly above 3 bars to suddenly barely above 2 bars. You lose a bar of drive gauge on that. And then he goes for a parry after expecting the next part of the sequence and gets thrown. Now he's at a bar of drive gauge and in the corner. This is so bad. Oh, okay, he calls out the backdash though. All right, he survived the situation. That could have been really bad for the drive gauge. What? Hold on. He goes for the kill rush? Damn, he committed to that? That is -4 or 6? I forget the frame date on this ender. Wow, he frame trapped him with that. Because he could have done command dash empty to throw, but he actually went for the punishable ender. Oh, he's playing with this timing. He's kind of cooking. Yeah, he's kind of cooking. That offense was crazy. Oh, wait. 4 whiffs in a row and not a single whiff punish. That's just Ed. Oh, no. Drive gauge. Where did it go? What happened? Oh, and this time he goes for the empty jump throw. Let's review this sequence. Hold on. Okay. This is the power of having the mid-screen safe jumps and depleting the drive gauge, and the dangers of using your drive rush cancel too aggressively. He put himself at a bar and a quarter of drive gauge on his offense, gets clipped into a level 2 routing, and here he sets up the blitz into the safe jump sequence. We saw earlier, if he blocks the safe jump sequence, he loses a bar of drive gauge, so he's going to be put into burnout if he blocks his safe jump. We already saw that. So on this one, he finally represents what I've been mentioning this whole time. He empty jumps into nothing. He sees Kincho attempt to parry, hoping he goes for the safe jump sequence to restore his drive gauge. He empty jumps, sees the parry, throws it. You're in burnout. Give me that. And now you got to fight in burnout. Oh, nice neutral jump. Okay, Kincho's fighting in burnout really well. It's actually doing that really well. Nah, big shimmy. I actually don't remember this is a 3-0, but this is a really close 3-0. Drive rush jab after the whiff, crouching MK. Gets in there, and that's a little optimization. Also, the driver's jab punish counter to crouch heavy from Kincho. Yeah. He can, Terry can do the crouching MK Tara combo, driver's cancel on Ed because of the slow DP. But now you're burnt. Yeah, this is looking rough. Flicker is Omega Plus. Nice dash. Ooh, he's got the Momochi dash, dude. This was a great dash. I love this option here. You know, Ed doesn't, he can cross cut, but his light DP is 10 frames. It's not really an option for him. So, in this situation, rather than walk under and risk the cross cut, he simply just dashes out of it. Great awareness on that, and just whenever you build space between the opponent, Ed is at advantage. He immediately just presses stand MK also after that. Just great movement there from Sahara. Oh, they're playing footsies. Oh, the game of chicken. That is the worst option to pick, I feel like. Getting caught in the flicker game of chicken when you're at like a bar and a quarter like that, and then just letting it go, because the problem here is, yeah, you maybe survived this initial interaction and you didn't get immediately burnt out, but now that you're here like this and you let go of parry, you're stuck not building your drive gauge, and as soon as he forces you to block, you're cooked. I feel almost like he should have just drive rushed in, but he keeps finding the neutral jumps. Kicho has been playing good in Burnout. Too much pressure. He couldn't afford to block there. I like this option here. So as soon as he got in, I mean, I feel like Kicho almost should have just level 1. As soon as he got in with the Superman punch, the button into level 2 into chip sequence, he was going to be damn near chipped out from this sequence. Even if you block that out, the chip damage Ed can rack up with drive gauge and level 2 is crazy. 3-0 Sahara over Kincho. Just strong awareness of the movement. What up, Scroto? Have you ever considered going the commentator route? I think you got that dog in you. No. Being a commentator is a lot harder than being a streamer. And also pays way less. And takes more time. It's just like more work for less reward. And more scrutiny. I mean, respect all the commentators out there. That shit is not easy. And people hate you. It's not easy, and people critique the shit out of you. They just hate you as a person. So, not really for me, I don't think. Kawano Sahara, grand finals, run back here. Immediate turn taking after the block crouching medium punch. Just super strong awareness of when to counter poke based on the advantage. True, I hate all commentators. At least, you know, you're equally distributing it. No bias. It's a thankless job. I think people are just very passionate about commentary, both positively and negatively. So I don't think it's necessarily thankless. I just think people are, you know, are going to critique you as a human being. It's a lot more personal. Is that dash under cross up good for non-DP characters too? Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's worth it to cross cut. Sometimes it's a little too late to cross cut or too risky. It's better than blocking the cross up for everybody. Nice attempt on the medium DP, but demon flip shenanigans. You're gonna punish heavily for that. Calls out the shimmy. Oh, he doesn't spend level 3 there. Ooh, DP awareness, empty jump low. He's flowing. Nice comeback. I woke up at 5 a.m. to watch this match. Really? Like, this was the reason? Or you woke up at 5 a.m. coincidentally and watched it? Damn! Oh, look at the spacing. What? No, you changed your mind? What was this side swap for? I think he was thinking about going into a level 2 route because he gave himself more screen space by going to the other side, and then I think he decided against it. That's my hunch here. He went to the other side because he had more screen space to do a dream combo, and then abandoned the idea. Damn, Brian looked good today. Thanks, man. I've been doing something different with my hair. No way. Clipping the extended hurt box in the early part of the fireball drive rush, recognizing the pattern. Great awareness. Just getting into the fireball battle here. Wow. What a time to represent the drive rush. Yeah, Ed's level 3 has a lot of horizontal range. More than you would expect. Can definitely be uniquely used to punish fireballs like that. Oh my god. If he had converted off that crouching light kick there, I think Lashar would. Lashar would one hit confirm into DP there. Crouch MK. Huh? That was a weird combo choice. It's like he didn't believe that it was going to hit, then opted for a jab last second. He could have got like massive damage on that. That's kind of strange. Wow! Same idea, same situation. He's representing drive rush at a distance, using the also extended invincibility on the ODDP, just like the level 3, to make it so that Kawano just can't sit cozy and throwing these like 3/4 screen fireball sequences. DP? Oh, level 2. That is your fastest option, actually, out of the DP. The level 2 will pick up, it's really, I forget the exact frame, but I think it's 8 frames, or maybe, yeah, I believe it's 8 frames, level 2. So, in this situation, it's just the most damage you can do. So, level 2 will almost always pick up from light DP, and you get the combo conversion. So, great awareness there from Sahara. Good pickup. This is the Japan World Warrior number 4. Sahara won number 3, and he's back here in Grand Finals again number 2. ODDP through the fireball. Sheesh, man, he did not represent any of this in the first set Winners Finals. Look at the awareness on the range here. That is so far away he did that from. Look at this. Look at this. Look how far away he is when Akuma starts the fireball. Akuma started the fireball when Ed is on this part of the screen. He walks into range, stands here for a second, sees the fireball, ODDP straight through it. Driver's jab, burst, approach, always super strong for Ed. Kawano not deterred from throwing fireballs. Does he tech? Oh my god, he does, and he immediately dies for it. RPS next level. Calls it the shimmy. Nah, you're in a bad spot. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. The guesses did not go your way. Crouch MK anti-air, and to immediately get perfect buried. Okay. Counter hit conversion, level 2. Okay. So attack and drive gauge. Extended kill rush combo sequence into the DP. That's mad. Oh, that was more damage than I expected, to be honest. Oh, you're dead. You're just dead. Meterless. This buff, I think, is so interesting. Like, just even in this kind of a sequence, just doing medium into flicker into the back kill rush on hit, that can set up such advantageous spacing. Instead of being at an ambiguous range up close after securing the hit, you can reset and then dominate at the extended neutral range, which Ed prefers. So you can reset your pressure on hit, get the combo damage back up, and harass again at a distance. Oh, try to snipe it with a heavy kick. Almost got clipped by the air fireball. Perfect parry into flicker, punish counter, knockdown, time to zone. Kawano, yeah, drive gauge under attack. Sahara was cranking up the momentum there. Don't whiff! Oh my god. He whiffed Superman punch, gave Kawano the heavy kick plus frames. Sahara's about to build level 3. Level 2, level, what are you gonna do? Oh, that was strange. No way. My man just wakes up. He's woken up with level 3 like 4 times. I think that's the first one that worked. 3-0 for the reset. Finally, the level 3 wake up is working. He represented that so many times. I mean, he keeps him guessing. He rotates his wake up options a lot. A lot of wake up buttons, anti-shimmy with the crouching medium punch, and level 3. I mean, gotta keep him guessing. Nice, perfect parry punish on this. So this is also one of the nerfs they added to Ed, even though this is technically a projectile. Previously, when you perfect parried the flicker, it didn't do a screen freeze. So you could still get punishes, but you have to do the drive rush, perfect parry drive rush OS on a projectile. So this is one of the nerfs to help curb the power of flicker. It's still super fucking good, but now you have the screen freeze to plot your appropriate punish. As you can see here, Kawano does for the corner carry. Perfect parry on the projectile OS, the crouching MK corner carry. That's a win. That alone is a little win in the drive gauge battle. Oh my god, Kawano. You're gonna die. Punish counter conversion to crouch MK, yep. Having heavy punch combo to crouching medium kick is so good with Ed. It helps stabilize so many random whiff punishes when pressuring the corner. Uh-oh. Is he gonna do corner level dream? I like that. He has the mid-screen dream variations. Oh, never mind. Something went wrong. Man, I complimented you too soon. Whenever you see an Ed player go for a dream for mid-screen, just know that they are a real Ed player. Like, that is a real Ed player thing to do, because the typical dreams just do not work. But he messed it up there, unfortunately. Delayed button. One of the slight weaknesses to add is, like, it's a lot more realistic to get these sort of drive rush cancels from crouching MK into the delay buttons, because Ed cannot do DPOS on drive rush cancel. Because his DP is slow, if they leave a gap with mediums, you can still block in time through his DP. So he can't reliably use the DPOS like a typical Shoto would. So you can get a little tricky with the mind games and do delayed drive rush into buttons to frame trap like a throw tech attempt or other options. Okay, Kawano oh, no! No! Are you fucking kidding me? Do you see what I'm saying about this man, Kawano? He just says, you suck ass. Watch this. What was that? That is Kawano's style, dude. He's just like, dude, you're not good, and I'm gonna fuck you up. Watch this shit real quick. Are you kidding me? I got destroyed by this. What a sequence. Hold on, let's watch this back. The delay drive rush cancel into the DP. First combo touch. Stagger medium frame trap into the conversion, into back heavy punch, into completely fuck up drive rush overhead. Oops, I put myself in burnout into demon. Are you kidding me? You know, for a second there, I thought Sahara was going to jump it because, you know, they're teammates and they probably play each other a lot. And he was like, nah, I know your shenanigans. Are you kidding me? That looked like such a fumble. This looked so fake. I for sure thought he fucked up. I got bodied by this. I definitely thought he messed up. I thought he... Okay, Kawano, you are a crazy man. Kawano wins this game, right? Let's see. Let's see what the mental fortitude is of Sahara. He's a killer. I don't know. He might not be phased. That's a brain breaker. Whip punish. Oh, Kawano, wake up DP. Interrupt on the flicker. Man, his health is just getting chipped away with the mid-range game from Ed right now. Once again, delay medium, catching either a delayed button or a throw tech from Sahara. Backdash on the throw. Do you have a dream, Sahara? Oh, he built the level 1. Just gotta bring it home. Just gotta bring it home. Yes, sir. Classic dream to level 1. This is why you need to have a dream. You're not building the drive gauge anymore, but the super meter is going up the whole time. You build the level 1. He didn't have the level 3. He wasn't gonna build it otherwise. That's how you get it done. Yeah, not phased at all. No choke. He already forgot that messed up demon setup. Oh, double perfect parry. Across the stage. Oh, whiff punish. Oh my god. Look at the discipline in this interaction here. Just, Kawano went for the preemptive shimmy punish, and Sahara just said, nah, I don't flinch. Immediate whip punish. Oh, DI reaction from Kawano. Sahara got a little too comfy. That's the first DI on the flicker we've seen, I believe. That's the second one. Kawano getting a better read on the flicker timings. Kawano has had a chance at a few times this set. Sahara just won't allow it. Yeah. Sahara's is solid the whole time. Yeah. Gonna have to hold that though. Also, what up, Grims? How you doing? Kawano tried to do that drive rush into DP shenanigan right there. I mean, it's always a risk because he can just release the flicker early enough to snipe the uncancelable frames of your drive rush. Then it's just guaranteed punish. Oh my god. Flicker, punish counter, massive damage in the corner. Next touch will kill. Oh, yeah. In that case, just DP out. Ooh, air fireball connects. Meaty ass drive rush towards heavy. Oh, the world's latest drive rush overhead. These kind of setups are so mean. After this throw like this, because you expect already at this point, you expect to be blocking like a crouching leg kick or a heavy punch, right? Towards heavy. You expect to already be in block stun. And then suddenly they get in your grill, they get a little closer, and you're like, what's happening? Great perfect parry timing, by the way. Consistent across, I think, most high-level Japanese players is a really, really practiced timing of perfect parrying the projectiles. Uh-oh. Immediate... Oh, I love that option. Jump, heavy kick. Oh, you're cooked, you're chipped. Oh my god, that was sick. That was sick. I love this response. What a recognition of the situation. Okay, so Kawano puts himself in a bad drive gauge situation immediately right here, right? And then puts himself in a horrible driver situation or drive gauge situation by burning himself out on this. Sahara recognizes this really fast and goes for drive reversal on the next interaction because it's safe and it doesn't matter what happens at this point, and he's going to preserve his drive gauge and stay above burnout. And if this lands, he can set up level 2 and he's going to be near chip range at this point. Great awareness to just say, fuck, I'm going to drive reversal and throw out level 2 immediately. And then, of course, cover the air-to-air option. There's no escape, and then even if it picks up, he gets the combo and he's dead, and otherwise he's gonna get chipped. It doesn't matter. Just great resource and life awareness. That was sick. Nice driver shin to punish the back sway. DP. He's getting kind of boxed in this corner right now. Wake up lights. Hold on. Wait, with a sliver of drive gauge remaining, it's paused though. Okay, it's over. And Kwano's wake up DP success rate this set has actually been nutty. You see what I mean? Kwano absolutely will never be conditioned. It's crazy. He is such a bulldog player. Stubborn, bullheaded. Did you see that? You see that? You see what he's earned? Okay. Sahara does drive rush after the crouching medium into jab, airtight block string. And then Kawano now, after doing reversal DP 45 million times and being correct every single time, after blocking like a +2 or +3 drive rush jab, he now does reversal crouching medium punch. This is the power of Kawano's like RPS. I think a lot of mid-level players and below, they don't RPS hard enough. Maybe mid-level players. I think the lower level players, they RPS too much maybe. But when Kawano and other high level players are RPSing, they're going for the gusto. He's saying, I've conditioned Sahara now to finally respect my reversal DP in the situation. Now when I challenge and steal my turn because they're scared of my DP even though they have advantage, now I'm going to press medium. Because if Sahara does a delayed button, for example, to like OS pressure after blocking a fast DP, this is going to counter hit to massive damage. So he does crouching medium there. When I say RPS, I mean rock, paper, scissors. Just like think of, you know, the counter to the counter, right? The rotating mind games of which option beats what option that the players are going through in their head. Throw loop city. Yeah. And as far as Sahara's RPS, he definitely will wake up level 3, will wake up button, but wake up throw tech is one of the lowest options he goes for. What? I know we're supposed to be like glazing Sahara right now, but what is wrong with this dude? What is wrong with Kawano? I mean, the fireball is negative frames. Reaction DI. Hold on, Kawano's a round away from going up to the final game of the tournament for him. Okay, and this time on the RPS, on the drive rush cancel, after the jab, he went back to the DP. It's making it so that for Sahara, when he does a drive rush cancel, he's more scared of his own frame advantage than Kawano is. But wait, what was this interaction? DP there. And then wake up crouching medium punch there. Oh, I'm telling you, you got to rotate the options hard. If you're going to like take advantage of their hesitation, do it with an option that will give you the win. But speak of win, it's not Sahara winning this. Oh my god, that's crazy. That is crazy. He woke up with the crouching medium punch to call out the hesitation on the offense, to read the situation. And he gets the proper conversion, right? I think that was optimal, what he just did. Doesn't kill. And then Kawano instead gets the round in the game. Damn, that's a pixel. He could have done a meaty-ish flicker. Both of these players commit to their options. If you're gonna RPS, you know, when you throw a rock, make sure that rock hits hard, basically. With any option they're committing with. Backdash. I like the drive rush in after the safe jump. Continue the plus frames. They've got a live crowd watching this. This is Japan, man. They get down for the World Warriors. They got watch parties all over. Perfect parry, drive rush OS in the fireball. Oh, meaty. Kawano didn't want to block because of his drive gauge. That safe jump plus the parry whiff means Kawano's on the back foot. Look for how long his drive gauge was locked out. Look at that. Look how long. This whole sequence, just landing this one safe jump, takes a bar, whiff parry, down to a bar and a pixel, and then he's locked out of the drive gauge. He's still below the 3-bar threshold. Yep. Still below 3 bars. Nice. It'll be level 2? Oh, it is heavy. Okay. That was crazy. Look how late this hit. Light DP? Heavy DP? You rarely see that. Look at the sequence. Oh, almost got the whip punish there. Kawano still, you know, he's like, hey, I got footsies. Double whip punish back to back. An incredibly solid and skilled player that's willing to go nuts is so scary. All right, dream time. Massive damage on that. Oh, driver's throw loops. It's real. Oh, fuck. I don't think this worked out the way Sahara wanted at all. What happened here? Perfect parry on the fireball into what he thought was a drive rush check on Kawano as he sees Kawano also going green behind the fire. There's too many layers here, man. It looks like a typical fireball driver sequence. Sahara's like, aha, I have perfect parried the fireball. I see that you're attempting a drive rush behind it. I will check your drive rush with my crouching light kick drive rush cancel into a full combo and win the game. Meanwhile, Kawano is like, yeah, I planned this all along. I knew you would perfect parry the fireball and attempt to check my drive rush. So I did drive rush into adamant fist to halt my momentum and to bait your whiff. And he happened to be pressing a light into drive rush cancel, which makes it so that even on whiff, the drive rush cancel comes out. So he gets, instead of a drive rush cancel check into killing and winning the game, he spends 3 bars to get counter hit by the world's fattest adamant fist into a combo conversion for Kawano into the CA. Ouch. That's your reward for perfect parrying the fireball. You're burnt. I feel like he's gonna do like drive rush DI. Wait, he might still get the win. Kawano. Oh, the fireball battle still too solid for Sahara. I thought he was cooked there. Tied it up. Final game of the tournament between the two teammates here. Flicker. Punish counter flicker. OD flicker pickup. A lot of damage on that. Charge flicker through the fireballs is so strong. Oh. Almost got punished there. Counter hit. Kawano should have gone back to the DP. You failed the RPS check. Sahara's not scared. He'll eat the DPs. That's why your DPs have been landing every time, because he just doesn't care. If anything I'm learning, baiting uppercuts is for the weak. Do not hesitate. Eat the uppercut. Just keep going in. Oh, mid-screen shimmy. Wait, Kawano, you're kind of falling apart here. You're kind of getting cooked. Empty jump low, defended. Next touch kills for Sahara. Dry rush, jab, jab, cooked. Too much momentum. The king. Sahara. Whoa. There we go. Okay, we're back. We're back. I think the camera's working now. Okay, that's Sahara, the new king of Japanese Street Fighter. I mean, you can see how solid he is in his decision making. Interesting how he rarely techs, but he swings for the fences with the wake up level 3s. He represents wake up buttons a lot, wake up crouching medium punch as well. His defensive RPS is really really strong and rewarding, right? That's something I can take away from that, is if you're gonna reversal, make it a commitment that's going to be rewarding enough to warrant the risk. Strong neutral control, good movement, and he's the guy to beat right now. Like I mentioned before, he's playing just for the love of the game. He's already qualified into Capcom Cup, but at the same time, he's dominating the leaderboard. So we're going to see Sahara at Capcom Cup. He might be one of the players to look out for. And we still don't know who the final two players who are going to qualify out of this CPT. It's wide open because there's only one more World Warrior remaining in Japan. Whoever takes that can jump the leaderboard for sure and get the auto-qualifying spot. And then you still have the regional finals as well. So it'll be interesting to see where this all shakes up in the end. But currently, Sahara, he's the guy to look out for. When is the last World Warrior? It's got to be soonish. It's interesting how Japan has them all at the end. In January. Wow. I don't know why the rest of the world like races to finish all of the World Warriors before December, and then Japan is just like coasting all the way until January. It's a little weird. It's always been like that. Saving the best for last. They're independent TOs. There's no real reason. Like, there's no concern about overlap or anything. I don't know. Just a common trend I've noticed. Their finals are February. Yeah, really late. Yeah, I don't know why. It's weird how everything else is already wrapped up. It's a little strange. The Capcom Cup's in March, right after. Anyways, that's all I got for this one, guys. I wanted to get those two, the Viper breakdown and covering a little bit of Sahara, done. I think Street Fighter League USA is starting tomorrow, so I definitely plan on restreaming the last phase, and then Marvel Tokon's coming out. So there's a lot coming up. So I'm gonna get back on the stream grind and enjoy some fighting game action. So anyways, that's all I got for tonight, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm heading out. Thank you so much for hanging around. Appreciate you guys. And see you tomorrow, most likely. All right. Peace out, Twitch. Later. And YouTube as well. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have a lot more coming up. Catch you guys next.